Okay. So where are we at? Today is the final day to drop. So I think I sent out an email, but basically if you're below a 60 at this point, I would probably really consider dropping. So I think if you're below a 60, you're gonna have to get like basically an over an A on everything afterwards to pass the class. So any questions of anything we've done so far? So 7A, 7B, 7C. We're about to finish up 7D today. And then after 7D, we're going to take a test next class. And then we got 5A, 5B, and 5C, and then we're going to take a test. And that's it. So basically, we got one more section in a test, and then 3 more sections in a test. The other thing, don't forget, you have some sort of research paper due. So I think I've talked about that before. But in case I haven't, research project is here. So this is where you submit it. This is the research project PDF. So basically, the important thing that is that it's 40 days. Did it say it was due today? What does it say on the schedule? Now it says the quiz 4 is due on the 28th with the test. So usually the quiz is due right before the test. Unless you're looking at like the old syllabus, but there should be an updated schedule. Which says we're doing 7D today, test for next class for the 28th. And then we're doing 5A, 5B, 5C. And then the last day, you're going to have a quiz due and you're going to have that research project due. So do not like wait till the last minute to do that research project. We're a good couple weeks away. Like you should be starting at least by now if you haven't started already, hopefully. And so back to this research project. Hopefully you're seeing it on your screen. Students are expected to research something that about a math related topic. I want you to find something that's interesting to you, find something out there that is math related, basically. I want you to go read it. And you should do like, I know I've done research projects the way you should. But if you want to do a good research project, the way you do it is you do the research and then you write the essay. And the essay should write itself if you do enough. Like it's a 3-page essay. I don't think it's not too terribly long. And so something about that, this says 3-page minimum. So you should have at least 3 full pages. If not 3 full pages, it should be flowing probably over to the 4th, right? A little bit. That's what I would personally do, just to be safe. It should be 12. It should be Times New Roman, typical MLA format. If you're going to do it in a different format to try to get more or less pages out of it, I'm probably going to have to copy and paste it into a Word editor and see how many pages it really is. And I'm going to have to do extra work, and it's probably going to be more points off. Like that's not what you should be doing. So people try things. I don't know what to say, but like people try everything, and it's pretty obvious. I went through college myself. I got a master's. I know how to write an essay. Do it the correct way.
Do you want this double spaced?
Yeah, it should be MLA format, double spaced, 12-point Times New Roman. Like everything that comes with typical MLA format. 3 pages minimum, I talked about that. 3 scholarly sources, so they should be scholarly sources. They should be valid sources, not some crackpot stuff. But it should be properly cited. Most stuff now you can copy and paste however they're citing it. I'm not going to be like super picky and be like, this was supposed to be italicized and it's bolded or something like that. Like I used to deal with that. They kind of made that kind of obsolete with like, they have Easy Bib as well. That will generate a bibliography for you or generate the citation. So there are ways to generate citations if they don't already have them there. This shouldn't really be an issue. As long as you got your 3 sources, that's mainly what I'm looking for. They're good sources.
Do
They're
we
not
have to get our sources approved by you?
I mean, if you're using like the search engine, like a Scholastic search engine, then like it should be Scholastic, right? So there should be a library search or some way to do a search through the library to get scholarly sources on a lot of the stuff. The other stuff is like don't cite like Wikipedia, but if you follow the links on Wikipedia, a lot of that stuff is probably citable. It's got to be a credible source. I give a few topics here, so you can read a few of these, but there's the calculus controversy, the history of zero, irrational numbers. If you want to do any mathematician, these are all people. So something maybe to take note, in math, they don't give away the Nobel Peace Prize, I think is what it is. They don't give away the Nobel Peace Prize in math because it is for applied sciences. Sorry, I'm petting my dog down here. And so they give away this thing called the Fields Medal, and Miriam is the first, I believe, female to win the Fields Medal, and that was in the early 2000s, so wasn't that long ago. Paul Erdős was probably the most prolific mathematician. He was kind of a nomadic sort of person. He's traveled new roof and new proof. Srinivasa taught himself math in the dirt with a stick. He came up with his own notation for a lot of things. Pretty interesting person. Pretty sad story. Who else? You know Al-Khwarizmi? Did I talk about Al-Khwarizmi?
I don't think so.
Huh. You know about algebra? Where's that word come from?
I'm guessing this guy right here.
Yeah, I was talking about like what sort of like ethnicity wise, or like what sort of region does it come from? It comes from Middle East, right? If you think about the al prefix, algebra. So if you look here, this book, where is it? Does it say? I'm trying to find it. Al-Khwarizmi is where we get, I believe, algorithm from, because people don't know how to speak correctly, apparently. But it got like translated to algorithm, Aljabr. I don't see it on here. It's somewhere on here. Aljabr. It's like where we get algebra from. He's the guy that wrote it. Ooh, excuse me. That book. So math history, right quick. What was it? The Greeks did a lot of geometry, and then like the Black Plague sort of happened, and the Middle East really took over. Baghdad was kind of an epicenter, and we have people like Al-Khwarizmi, and then I believe after that, who else took? I believe the Germans for a while, and they had a few things. Pre-1930s, the German Empire was pretty big. I think it was pre-1920s actually. Late 1800s, the German Empire, like they were getting a lot of work done with. You have the Austrian Circle, and they did a lot of stuff with like logic and constructing a lot of that sort of stuff behind math. This stuff you probably don't want to hear about. But and then there was also England came to power, I believe, and produced a lot of stuff. And so you have this bridge on the Cam River, and there was a city that developed right there on the Cam River, on that right near that bridge that crossed it, and they built a college right there, and they called it Cambridge. There was another river, and people would cock up their wagons and ford it with their ox, and they built a college there, and they called it Oxford. So they really like to build colleges on rivers, apparently, where they crossed the river. So that's just something. A lot of these people, I believe, are Greek. Pythagoras, Hypatia, Eratosthenes. Hypatia is a female Greek mathematician. Archimedes. Cantor is the father of sets, like set theory stuff. He was kind of crazy. Russell, Whitehead, they were the ones like trying to develop math, all the axioms in math. Galois, I believe, was the guy that kind of proved it wasn't possible to fully axiomatize math. So, who else am I missing? Gauss was a little prodigy. Euclid is a pretty famous mathematician. Any questions about like what's kind of expected on this paper?
Do we need like graphs?
Need like what?
Graphs.
No, like it should be 3 pages, and let me like clarify. It should be 3 pages like without visuals. I'm like, if you're throwing visuals in there to get 3 pages, that's not 3 pages. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing is get 3 pages of words first, then add photos.
Yeah, like don't rely on like graphics or visuals to get you to 3 pages. That's not a 3-page essay. You're throwing stuff in there to put space in there. I'm not trying to do that.
So it'd be like a paper like the percentage of like colleges who named their college after a river or not.
Yeah, I just don't know how you'd get 3 pages on something like that specific. But
I was just throwing it as an example.
yeah. All right. All right, so we definitely need to start if there's no questions on what's kind of expected out of the essay. It should be 3 pages of words, 3 sources. Usually you have 1 source per page. Like if any of those things aren't met, like I think you're probably going to start at a 70 at best. Like those are the things that are really, really required. If you're not doing that, you're not doing the assignment. Okay, so this section, I feel like if you did that unit analysis section, you could probably do this section. So a lot of this stuff is kind of like drawing back on what we were doing with the unit analysis. About how often, once in every how many minutes or how many seconds on average is a person killed in a car crash in the US. So this is the data that they've given us from 2016. So this is for an entire year. So if they are asking for car crashes or people killed, I believe that is the fatalities. Like Mortal Kombat. That's what I'm thinking. This came out. But anyway, this is 40,200, I believe, per year. And so they want to know how many that is, I believe, every minute. So I believe we have to convert years to minutes. Yeah, minutes. And then the next one, I think they do in seconds. So I think they're rounding it to the nearest whole minute.
Okay, I got a really large number, but I really don't think that's right.
I got a really small number.
Okay, then I think I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, I got a small number too. 0.076.
I got the same.
That's what I got.
Okay, so
You
we're
can really
doing
round that
death.
up though.
Yeah, if you round it, it's like 0.1.
Well, if you round it to the nearest minute, it's once every minute, but that's not even close to being true.
I think you want to do it minutes per death. Like how many minutes for every one death?
Uh,
I think that might
Yeah.
be the way to do it.
I did 420 divided by 500 and 525,600. Should I try the other way?
So you're doing deaths per minute that way. So I think you want to flip it and see how many minutes for every one death.
Wait, how did you get the 5 number, whatever you had?
365, which is how many days are in a year, times
Yeah.
24, and then multiply that number times 60. Converted
Oh,
it from days to hours to minutes.
got it. I think
Yeah,
I was doing it all in one go, and that's how I got.
When I did this in deaths per minute. It's a little bit backwards from like what we usually write these units.
Is it 13?
I don't understand. Is it minutes per death or deaths per minute?
It should be minutes per death.
Okay. I'm not quite sure how to do that.
So basically, if you got the deaths per minute, flip those two numbers.
Whoops. Okay, it's rounded to the nearest whole number, right?
Yep.
Okay. Please let this be right.
Oh yeah, brat. What?
Wait, I'm sorry. We round the minutes.
Yeah, to the nearest minute.
Okay.
Oh, don't put no units. Just give me a number. It's already written. The sentence is written out there. I wrote it out. So hopefully, when you do your homework, you have some sentence that says a person dies once every blink minutes, or there's a fatality once every blink minutes. Yeah, when I solved this, I like started solving it in deaths per minute. Which you can do, but it doesn't get you there. Oh yeah, one more person. Do you need more time, or did you fall asleep? That's the question. There we go. Too much dog hair now.
I was right. I just put in once every 13 minutes.
That's it. It should be 13. And so let's look at how to get that. So I believe we got 4,200 in 1 year. And so 365 and 24 and 60 is the conversion. And I think I did it, what, here? I reduced them, I think is what I did. I just reduced this fraction. So I got something like 67 over 876. I'll get it right out in a minute. And I said, uh-oh, I need to know how many minutes for every one death. And I think I divided top and bottom by 67. But if you wanted to do it, I guess the correct way, flipping them is the same thing, right? 525, 600 minutes for every, what, 4,200 deaths? We get that many deaths per minute or that many minutes per death. I think they want the minutes for every one death, basically. Questions about this one? Okay. And so the next one is very similar. They give you like one, they give us like two of everything in here, is what it seems like. Building an ark or something, I don't know. And we're going to do it once every blink second. So now we're going to do person injured in a car crash. I think we're doing 4.6 million. So 4 comma 600 comma 3 more zeros. I believe that's 4.6 million. So this section, it definitely tests whether you know how to do millions, billions, how to convert 4.6 million or 430 billion.
Are we finding seconds?
Yeah, we're going to seconds now.
Okay.
And I think there's kind of a reason why they do that. It's just like, it's the nearest one that gives you a reasonable number, if that makes sense. It's not a number too large, it's not a number too small. Like the first one was 13 minutes. We get a good sort of even 13. If we were doing that in hours or something, it would be a really large number. Did in seconds, it would be. No, it'd be a really small number if we did hours. It'd be a really large number if we did seconds. So I said it backwards. But
And we're once again rounding to the nearest whole number, right?
Yeah, it should be the nearest whole number. I think you're gonna have to round up on this one. Mhm.
I didn't have to round up, so that makes me slightly worried.
I saw how many ranks I dropped, and I'm extremely worried. I was like, what did I do?
We're doing 11 people. Okay. It should be very similar to the other one, right? Except I think we got another factor of 60 to multiply in there. Shoopadooga. So oh yeah, you're taking too long on this. I don't know. I said it already, kind of, right? 365 by what? 24 by 60 by 60. And this should give me whatever my minutes is. Nope, sorry. Whatever my seconds is. And then I'm going for 600, something like that. Injuries. I'm dividing these two things. I believe this top is giving me a number like 31536. So we're again 31536 with 3 zeros. So I take those two numbers, I divide them, and if you don't got that number by now, I don't know what to do. Divide that number by that number. I want to clear my annotations. I'm done with this thing. You should be getting 6.85, something like that. Is that what we're getting? 7? What else y'all telling me? 7? 784. I don't think you divided by 60 again or something. Or didn't multiply by 60 on the top. Wait, no, that would make it larger. I don't know what you did. I think you multiplied.
Oh, it's an injured.
Okay. Did you do cost to society or something?
No, I still did deaths.
Oh. Yeah, this section is all about sort of, how do I say it, reading tables and really like it's those small differences. So they want us to express the 1995 and the 2015 fatality rates in deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled. And it looks like we have, so they're doing deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled. It looks like in 95, 41,817 is the fatalities. It looks like the vehicle miles. So we got to look which one that is. That's drivers. This is vehicle miles over here. 2.4 trillion. So we do have to convert that to 2.4 trillion. And then figure out what it would be if that is what, 100 million. So again, using your, like, if you know how to do unit analysis, it might be a little bit tricky, but we can convert these things. Make sure I got enough zeros here. That's thousands, millions. That's billions. That's trillions. What are they rounded to? Is it two decimal places is what it is.
How exactly do we do this again?
So we're doing deaths per 100 million vehicle miles traveled.
So it's the
Grab that.
100 million divided by the.
So we have this many deaths, and we have 2.4 trillion, which is 2,4,0,0,0,0,0,0,0,0. So that is 2.4 trillion. And we want to equal this to something. I don't know how many deaths it is, but I know I want 100 million over here. So I'm thinking about how to get this number over 100 million when it's 2.4 trillion.
Okay.
There are a few ways. I want y'all to try something, if that makes sense. And then I'll go over at least one of the ways. Probably, if not two. Whoa. I did not mean to hit that submit button. I was still typing in a number. That is going to be wrong.
So we don't round this one, right? Or to what decimal?
To two decimal places.
This is a hard one.
There's a few ways to do it. Is this even gonna let me do it in my calculator? It may not. It might be too big for my calculator if I do it one way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it works. Maybe. Do I have that in the right? Is it thousands, millions, billions, trillions? That's it. Maybe I typed it in my calculator wrong. I think maybe. 187. Maybe I missed a 1 in there. 2, 4, and then I got 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I got 3, 6, 7. Doing 100 million. Why am I getting off? Oh, there it is. I must have missed a 0 somewhere. You can do it deaths per mile, and then if you drive 100 million of them, I think that's one way to do it. Where are we at, man? What are y'all doing?
Looks like only 3 of us have answered.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like, are y'all trying something, or is it? What are y'all doing?
I think some of us is like we've tried so many ways. We're like, okay, but which one's right?
I don't know. I mean, you don't know unless you try something, whether it's right or wrong, and then you learn.
I'm gonna assume the way to solve this is on the next slide. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's usually there if it's something new. It's a reading rainbow problem. You can do it that way too. Is it just 3 people that answered, or is it lagging? Oh, it was 11 people that answered.
Oh, thank God! I was worried. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if y'all want more time. I'll give you a little more time, but if no one says anything, I'm gonna continue because I'm giving y'all enough time on that one. Should have been. Try something. Doesn't have to be right. I mean, by the time you write up your homework, it should be correct. What are y'all doing? 1742, 1.72, 1.72, I think is what it should be. Should be 1.72. And so if I do it this way, let me clear my annotations. I think that's what I have annotated, huh? One way I was talking about is we can multiply these 2 numbers and then divide by this one. Do it butterfly style. So if we multiply these 2 numbers and divide by that, we should be getting the 1.716 or 1.72.
I did the thing from the video lecture where you subtract the 8 zeros.
Was it like this where you got like this crazy number? I divided these two numbers and you get this many deaths per mile. And then if you want it for 100 million miles, you multiply both the top and bottom by 100 million. Or did you do something else?
I stopped at 1.74. That's what I got.
That should be deaths per mile. Is that 1.74 or 1.72? I keep getting something different. I'm getting 1.74.
Yeah, that's what I got. I subtracted the 8 zeros from the 2.4 trillion, and then I divided the two.
Okay, yeah. That works. What are you telling me? I don't understand. It should be 1.742375. My number for deaths is different. Is that right? 41817. Is that what it is? Did I do a different number for deaths? 41817. I don't understand what y'all talking about. There's different numbers for deaths. It's the same number. This is just these two numbers divided.
What I just did the deaths divided by 24 because it was like divided by how many 100,000 miles were driven. So I was like, oh, there's 2,400,000 miles driven. So I just did that, and it gave me 1,742, which is the number just without the decimal point. So I'm not sure like what would be a fix for that.
If you're dividing this by 24, so I think the thing that you would want to do is do that it is 2.4 trillion, and 2.4 trillion is that many 100,000 miles. Is that right?
Yeah, 2,400,000 miles. So I figured I could just simplify it, but that didn't work.
100,000.
I mean, it kind of worked, but not quite.
3, 6, 7, 8. So there should be 1, 2, 3 zeros.
Oh wait, I see what I did wrong. There's a trillion's a lot bigger of a number than I thought.
24. Yeah. You have
I
to be
missed 3
careful.
zeros.
Yeah, it's
There we
really
go.
easy to
That's
miss a zero. So that would be 24,000 million miles, right? Is what the unit is or whatever. So that when we look at these and we multiply them together, this would give us the 2.4 trillion. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to think about this. And so my advice is to find one. I don't know. And I think we want to do something very, very similar for the next one, except we're doing a different year. And so I believe now we're doing deaths per 100 million vehicle miles driven in 2015. $35, $92. I think personally, I kind of like the butterfly. I mean, you should kind of know the ballpark of what your answer should look like now, hopefully. So if you miss a zero, But 2 decimal places. I think the book does 1, so I do 2. And who said we weren't going to talk about some really uplifting stuff today? Look at this. Ah, man. And we want to know how many deaths that is per what? 100 million miles. So this same setup as last time, different numbers. You could divide these numbers and then multiply by 100 million. Is basically what I did in that other one, right? 592. Let's see if I get the same number. Yep. Okay. I think there's a multiplication and there's a division. It doesn't really matter what order you do them in. So much as you do them. And getting those zeros right, it is a pain. So many times. I wish the TI would, well, but the new ones probably do put the comma in there for you. It's just so hard to see how many zeros you got in there, especially when you start getting to that many. I guess you could put it in there as a scientific notation pretty easily. We could do 3.1 e to the what, 12? This is 10 to the 3, 6, 7, 8. That works. Oh yeah, 12 people. Do y'all need more time? There's 3 people that haven't answered. Okay. Thanks for that. I got 1.13, somewhere in that ballpark. 1.132 to be exact. Questions? Is that, I didn't see it. Okay. What else are y'all telling me? 1.1. You're looking at the back of the book, aren't you? All these 1.1s. 2 decimal places. I feel like y'all are probably cheating, but maybe not. It's whatever you want to do. That's how you want to take the class. I don't know what to tell you. B, express the 1995 and 2015 fatality rates and deaths per 100,000 population. Here is the deaths. They are still the same number, but now we're doing some different number from the table. So if I want to do 41, what is this, 817? That's still my number of deaths for 95. What is my population? Can you see it in the table? Can you get that from the table is what they're trying to ask. I believe it's 263 million peepholes. And then we want to convert that to 100,000. per 100,000 people. I think this one just give an exact solution. I think you can get exact. 2 decimal places should be good enough exact. Drink.
Are we rounding the decimal places?
This one, if I'm being honest, you're just gonna get 1 to 1 decimal place. Basically, you should get 1 decimal
Okay.
if you're getting it right. And so you could put a 0 in there, or you could just put it as it is to 1 decimal place. I think I did both formats.
I love all the question marks up top.
What is this? This is a grid box. Oh, that covers things, and this one doesn't cover things, huh? Oh, okay. I feel like I can make a modern art masterpiece right here. Look at this.
Beautiful. It looks fantastic. We have our own Pablo Picasso in class.
Yes, very abstract indeed.
Trying to think of his name. Can't think of his name now. Jackson Pollock. That's his game. I always like wondered why that guy became kind of famous, but I don't know. Probably don't listen to me. I do like 0 painting. Unless it's a spray bottle. That's about it. And a stencil. I've stenciled some things, but that's it. Or more aptly, I wonder whether or not he became famous because, like, he was funded by the CIA. They funded his artwork. Do y'all know Jackson Pollock?
It
I'm
sounds
taking an art
familiar,
history class and I'm studying him right now.
Yeah, he's really like, abstract. If you go to the dentist office, like you've probably seen his stuff. It's like typical dentist office like sort of stuff. Just like really abstract, just squiggles and stuff. But apparently, like I don't know, I've heard from some people that he actually advanced a lot of like sort of color theories and stuff or something. I don't know. Don't ask me. Okay, there's 3 people in an answered. 3 people fell asleep. Okay.
Dang it, I was so close.
I keep forgetting how many zeros.
I was 3 off.
We give you 15.9. If you cross multiplied it, that's one way to get it. Or you could divide it and then multiply it. So I think you either multiply and divide, or then you divide and multiply, but it's still the same numbers, right? We should be multiplying by this 100,000. We should be dividing by whatever the population was. 321, 263 million in that first one. Same thing here, right? It's a very similar question. Now we're just doing the next year. 321 million is what we're doing. 35,092 is still the fatalities for 2015. And 2 decimal places. What was the last one? Like 15.9 or something?
Yeah, the last one was 15.9.
Okay. So it should be in the same ballpark. And you could probably guess, like if you look at traffic fatalities, they're going down. Our population is going up. Our number of drivers is going up. Our vehicle miles all go up. So everything else is like going up, but fatalities in general are going down. That's going to come up later. They're going to ask that. Like, what did you figure out about your numbers? Obviously, like there's better vehicles, right? We're getting better at making vehicles safer for humans. There's always that complaint, like stuff isn't built like it's used to, it's built to break. And it's like, well, yeah, but like for vehicles, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes the vehicle breaking means you don't break. So you get a trade-off there. But some of the crap they do on vehicles is just cheap and they're just saving cost. So I can kind of understand it too. The old lead sled. There was a handful of people at my high school that drove. It's old, like 60s, 70s.
I'm doing something wrong because I'm getting way too big of a number.
Are you taking this and dividing it? Or are you converting this to millions? That's another thing. We got to put enough zeros here. And then it's 10,000, right? Or 100,000?
100,000.
Yeah, we're not in millions anymore. 100,000 people.
Okay, I think I was just getting confused on like which numbers I was supposed to use. I'm like, too many numbers, too many options.
What are we doing, people? Like, this is the same thing over and over and over again, man. It's multiply by one number, divide by another number. I was hoping like it would not like take this long to keep doing these. Because it's literally the same thing over and over. The numbers change, but like the approach is still the same. So I don't know what to say, but get the approach, change the numbers. I didn't allot a lot of time. You know, like I don't know how to tell y'all this, but the class goes as fast as you're taking the class. When you spend minutes to answer something that should take seconds, it's gonna make the class go long. So if you really want us to sit around doing math all day, not answering is a good way. If you want to get to this class in a timely manner, then be here, be active, man. You're an adult, you're in college now. I shouldn't have to say these things over and over again. It's kind of ridiculous.
I was 0.01 off.
10.93 is what we should be getting.
So does it say what decimal places we're supposed to?
It's to two decimal places in all these.
Okay. Okay. Because last one was just one.
Oh, I was
So that-
0.01 off because I typed it in wrong.
Oh, the one before was one decimal place because that was as good as accuracy as you're gonna get. But if you did 9-0 on that one, if you filled in at 0, I would have counted it right too. So now we are doing deaths per 100,000 licensed drivers. So I believe we're doing not that number. Deaths, I believe is that number. Licensed drivers is that number in millions. And we're doing per 100,000. Is that what it said? 100,000. So
100,000, yes.
we want to convert this to per 100,000. So I'm hoping this takes like maybe like a minute. $177. Got to convert that to millions. I'm gonna like, man, you're gonna make me like time these things. Like this is ridiculous. Like I don't know what to do. Like it is the same thing we've been doing over and over. So I'm hoping it gets quicker. This is death. I'm doing this for 177 million. Miles, I don't want to be here all day, fools. I don't know what you're doing. And I want to do this to 100,000. It's literally the same thing over and over. I divide by that number. I multiply by that number. There's two things you got to do. It should take you like 30 seconds to set this up. Maybe 30 seconds to do it. And y'all are spending minutes on this. I don't understand. And the next one is going to be set up exactly the same way. This is the same question kind of over and over again. So this is 23.63 is what I'm getting. What are y'all telling me? How are y'all getting this wrong? 23.6. So two decimal places. It's got to be two decimal places.
I keep putting in the wrong amount of zeros.
I have
I
no
accidentally
idea.
put the 2015 fatalities on there.
Okay, now what are we doing? 2015 fatalities. So this is the fatalities. This is the licensed drivers. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say other than if you're not getting it this quickly, then I don't it I guess day after class. I'm not sure. I should get 16.1. And so are the changes in the 3 fatality rates from 95 to 2015 consistent with one another? Briefly comment on the general conclusions they suggest. So I kind of spoke to this already, but I believe each of the death rates went down, basically. If we do traffic fatalities per population, we do traffic fatalities per licensed drivers, if we do traffic fatalities per the number of miles driven, those fatality rates are all going down. What does that suggest? Driving is getting safer. The car survives, doesn't necessarily survive, but the person does. Where are we going? Compute the accident rate per million hours flown in 2000 and 2015. By this measure, has travel in the U.S. airlines become safer? There were blank accidents per million hours flown in 2000. Here's the number of accidents. Here's the hours flown in millions. And is that the first one's 2000? 49. So they want hours flown. Accidents to the million hours flown. This one, it's already kind of there. 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places on everything in this section. This one is like a one-stepper. It's already there. This is already in million hours flown.
Okay, I'm just having a little trouble I don't know why I'm having so much trouble today. Oops. So we're using the numbers you circled, right, for the 2000. And it's just the same process as last time, right?
Yep.
Practically the same process. Okay.
Are we there?
Almost. Just give me a second.
It should just be that one number over the other. It's already in million hours flown. It should be a one-step process. If this is already in millions of hours flown, all you have to do is divide that number by that number. It's already there in the units you need it. And so if we divide that number by that number, what are we going to get? I think it should be 2.93 is what I'm getting. Yeah. What are y'all still doing? One decimal place stuff? I'm going to know if you just keep doing one decimal place.
Gosh dang it. I divided it the wrong way.
Okay, same thing, but now in 2015. And so I'm going to give you all 30 seconds on this. It should not take you that long.
Okay, I think I might be dividing the wrong way because I'm getting way too big of a small of a number.
Okay, we're doing 2015. There are this 27 accidents per every 17.4 million hours flown. So I'm not sure what y'all are doing, but it's just dividing one number by the other. We're doing accidents per hours flown. I'm just like, oh man, I'm not gonna rant. I just like really don't understand like some people's approach or like whatever. Trying to be clear, I'm like on grades. I send out emails, so I don't know. If you're one of those people like that's making below 60, and I sent you an email, and then like you're gonna come to class and not be active, don't expect to pass. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's pretty clear. I'm trying to be clear on that one. Even if you are coming to class and being active, like, you make what you make. I don't know what to say. Compute the accident rate per billion miles flown. So now we're doing billion miles. So I think we want to do 2000. We want to do 2015. So 89 fatalities, and we want to do miles flown. So I think we're looking over here. Oh man, is it already? It's already in the units we need. These are a little bit easier than those previous ones, I feel. If it's already in billions of miles, we don't really got to do much to convert it to billions of miles. It's already there. Keep it there. It's just like that billion words. I don't know. It's almost like it's a unit, right? We can just look at it. As long as this is in billions and this is in billions, we can just look at billions of miles, and it's kind of like it's a unit on its own. Oh, I got to go. Okay. If you need more time, that should be enough time. Like we're doing the same thing kind of over and over again. We divide one number by the other. That's all we're doing. 12.54 is that what we are getting?
Okay. I'm not sure if it's something with my calculator, if I'm just not understanding, but
Where
I'm
I get
just
6.
I don't know what it is, but
Oh,
I'm
this
just-
is wrong. It should be 12.54. I guess I didn't like fix the solution on this one. What is this? 15b?
15B, yes.
And it should be what? 12.54? We're doing 89 over 7.1. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're doing unless you have some sort of question. I don't know how to answer it. We're doing accidents per billion miles flown, so hopefully I fix these solutions. If not, I guess I'll have to tell you. But we're doing accidents per miles flown, billion miles flown. So I believe we're doing these accidents in 2015 is what we want. And this many billion miles flown. Oh, are we doing accidents now? 49 divided by 7.1. Is that what I did? I did the
Accidents
wrong.
was the last one
Yeah,
too.
we're doing accidents right
Yeah,
now.
we're doing accidents now. Sorry. So the previous one was right. It was 6.9. We're doing that over that. Sorry. See, you got to be very careful on what they ask. I'd like to tweak it just a little bit. Okay, so that was right. So this
How
one,
many zeros are for the 7.5? Or is that a 6?
6.
6,
So
okay.
you shouldn't have to convert that at all. If you just keep things in billions of miles, we're doing this per billions of miles. All we're doing is dividing those two numbers. It's already in billions of miles. Okay. It's just like, I don't know why it's so annoying, but like 2/3 of the people or like 1/3 of the people are just here and not doing something, It's like, why? Why even come? Like, I can see you're not participating. I hope you don't need my help or anything. If you lived in a typical U.S. city of 500K, how many people would you expect to die of a stroke in a year? And so they don't tell you this in the book. And my number is a little bit off from theirs because I did something exact. But there are 320.7 million people in the U.S. in 2015. The rate of stroke here is heart disease, cancer. So I think if we look at COVID, it's like number 3 in this thing, right? According to last year's tally, I imagine with people getting shots, hopefully, like y'all are doing, it should go down, hopefully. Oh, excuse me. So 133, what, 100? And that's for 327,000, and that makes it million. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. That REO Speedwagon has that song. It's pretty cheesy. And so it makes me think of our people. And so that is a number. And we want to figure out for keyword here is what if you have, 500K people? So now our new denominator is this many people. It's the same process that we've been doing. There's going to be a division. There's going to be a multiplication. Figure out which number you got to do which with, I guess. This one, I think they rounded it to the nearest person. So I think they did it to the nearest whole person. And I think that's just kind of on how they're asking the question. I know we did like fractional people on the previous ones, but this one they're like, how many people would you expect to die of a stroke? And so if we get deaths per people or something like that or something, I think you can have like fractional deaths because of the rate sort of thing. But here they're asking kind of for a raw whole number, I think. Oh. Okay, I think we're pretty close. Anybody need more time on this? I'm gonna clear my drawings. I'm getting like 207.5 or something like that. So if I round that up, there should be around 208 people, I think. I think the book says 205 or something. The book's a little off from what I got. I'm not sure why, if they're using a different population number or what they're doing. But those three probably just look at the back of the book, didn't they? Okay, so this, they want us to look at the table. So if we're looking at this table, the thing that I want to look for, and I gave it to you on here, but don't look at it. Assuming there were about 14.2 million 60 to 65-year-olds, how many people in this bracket could you expect to die in a year? So this is the death rate. This is the life expectancy rate. So they want to know for someone that's 60 to 65 years old. So what they want you to do is go in here between 60 and 70, 60 to 65. And they say this falls somewhere around 11, I think is what they're doing. So there's about 11 deaths per 1,000 people is what the units say over here. So I guess I could do it with a little marker. If I do it with a box, it's probably the best thing, right? If I go like right in here and go like right here, 60 to 65, and I come up to this line, I'm like right near 11, somewhere in there. So they want you to be able to read this. So they're saying this averages out to about 11 over here. And if we get 11 deaths per 1,000 people, I think we want to know what that is for 14.2 million. You should get a nice, even, round whole number.
And it's just the same process as last time, right? Or what we've basically been doing. I feel like it's going to
Pretty
switch.
much, you're going to divide by one number and multiply by another.
I keep thinking like, okay, it's going to switch on me at a random moment and we're going to do something completely different.
11 per 1,000. This even tells you what you're dividing by right here, right? 11 divided by 1,000. And then I believe we're going to figure out what that is if you have 14.2 million of them. That's one way to do it. Let me clear. Where is it? Annotations. Shoo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that graph is okay. I mean, you should be able to read it, but like if I'm being honest, for 60 to 65, if you told me 10, 11, 12, I would probably give it to you. Like it's not like super obvious what the deaths per 1,000 people are. But if we want to crunch numbers and we all want to get the same number, I guess I have to give you the number. I don't know. So you should be able to read it, but it wasn't really able to write the question in a way to test that, if that makes sense. So where are we at? 3 more people. Did we fall asleep? Do y'all need more time on this thing?
It's 4:30, so maybe
Yeah.
they've left and they just haven't logged out.
Okay. If you need more time, let me know. I'm not trying to like rush people that are legitimately working on stuff. It's just a lot of people aren't working on it, and it's like it's kind of obvious. I don't know what y'all's plans are, but it's your college career. That's all I can say, right? The highest and lowest birth rates in the U.S. in 2015 were in Utah and New Hampshire, respectively. Utah reported that many births, and that's their population. New Hampshire has this many births, and that's their population. So use that data for the following question. How many people were born each day of the year in Utah? So we get this many births per year. We need to know births per day. Is that what we're doing? I believe so.
Born each day of the year, so it looks like it.
Yes. So we did this already. So I think we're taking this. And if you think about things long enough, I think we're dividing that by what? 365 by 24 by yeah, that's it. No multiplying by 60. So 2 decimal places, I think is what I got it.
This is a true fact. It still seems weird that Utah has the highest births.
Who has the highest births?
Utah, which seems
Utah.
weird because, like, it's pretty big, but it's far from the biggest population or population density.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's pretty much Mormon central there, like big Mormon population in Utah. Salt Lake City's there, and it's got a big Salt Lake. That's about all I know about it. I'm wondering if that maybe has something to do. I don't know what the average size of the Mormon family is, if I'm being honest. Or if that has anything to do with it. But it might. Okay. I think this is more than we had last time. 365 by 24 gives me 8760. So if I take 51,154, divide it by 8760, I get what 5.84, I think is what I'm getting. Is that what you are getting? Did I do the right number? Did I do the right numbers? 51, 154. And we're dividing that by what? 365 by 24?
Where'd you get the 365?
Days in a year by 24 hours in a day.
Oh,
Wait. Oh, shoot. No, we're doing it.
Three.
Born each day. I don't need the hours. Why am I dividing by hours? It's just 5114 divided by 365 to get to days. I'm doing way too much work. What am I doing?
No wonder.
that might be the next problem.
So we are doing 51, 154, and then I want to convert years to days. This is for every 365 days, I'm getting this many people. And so what I'm doing is I'm dividing these things. I should be getting 140.15 somewhere in there. And this will give me how many people are born each day. Is that making sense? What I was saying before is garbage. This is what we're doing. That should get you the 140 that I was talking about. So 3 people did better than me, apparently. What happened to it? Where's it at? Come on. Next slide. My internet connection is unstable. On average, how much people were born each day in New Hampshire? So now that I did it wrong, I know how to do it right. I think this might be the nearest whole number on these. That's what it looked like on the previous one, but I could be wrong. I guess I'll figure out. Okay, so we're taking that, what? 12,302, we're dividing that by 365. And I should be getting 33.7, rounding it up to 34. So if you tell me 33 or 34 people, I'll probably give it to you. That's it. So paying attention to what the units are asking, what they're asking, whether they're asking for miles, whether they're asking for minutes, what the heck. It is really easy to mess them up, as you see. Be very careful on the details in this section, I guess. The highest and lowest birth rates. What is the birth rate in Utah in births per 100,000 people? So again, we are getting Utah is this 51, 154, and 3.0 million people. So again, divide, multiply by 100,000. I think is what we're doing. 3 million is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 6. A million has what? 6 zeros. This, I believe these are all whole numbers, is what they're doing on this. This connection is spotty. So I believe we're taking this many births per 3 million. So I guess I got to add some zeros. And then I got to, what? Divide this by this, multiply by this. Or I can multiply these and then divide it. Either way, same thing kind of over and over again. Did I submit mine? Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other number. So this one should give you 1705, I think is what I'm getting.
Wait, what number was multiplied? I just divided everything.
Should have
It
multiplied
was
by
the
100.
butterfly thing. You multiplied the two numbers and divide by the one thing you had left over.
Yeah, the previous one was what, 51, 154?
Yeah, it was 51, 154
We're going to
Um,
divide that by 3
times-
million.
divided by 3 million.
And then we have to multiply by 100,000. This is the number.
Ah, that's where I messed up. Okay.
Doing the same thing, but with a 12302. And now we have 1.3 million. Doing it to the nearest whole number. Do y'all need more time? Is this all? Is this everyone's gonna answer? Okay, there's one more. I think this is the last one or second to last one. We're almost there. That's it. And the last one, so you're gonna have to make this table on your own, but they want you to make a table showing the percentage of Americans over age 65 between 1950 and 2015. So in your table, within your table, you should write this thing, right? Like you should write out these dates. So your table should include this line right here, basically. And then you're gonna make, you don't have to put these two things, but you should make another little box that says, what are we saying? Percentage of Americans over 65, something like that. So some people did tables, and maybe I'm a little bit picky or something, but like I feel like your tables should have titles. Like some people wrote a table out and they didn't have any titles on it. I'm like, I don't know what this tells me. You should have some titles on your or some labels labeling what it is. So this is the year. This is the percent over 65. So if we have a U.S. population of 151 million, and we know 12.7 million of them are over 65, how do I find the percent of people that are over 65? Well, where's my little bar? Oh, I'm gonna do an annotations. I gotta exit out annotations to get to this. So for the first one, for 1950, if we want to look down here, I'm looking down here through 1950. I'm doing the number of people over 65 divided by the total population to find that percent. So I should be putting something like 8.4% in here. Aha, come on. Can I? No, I don't know how to get it smaller. Okay, whatever. And so you should be able to fill out this table. Are there any questions over like maybe how to fill out this table? I think I did two more. So that should be 8.4. This one should be 9.6 when we divide these numbers. I guess I could convert them both to millions, but if they're both in millions, I can just do this number over that number. I should be able to, right? As long as they're in the same units, which they are. This is millions, this is millions. Any questions about this table? So I think you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more numbers to figure out and fill out a table with. That's the final thing I got for y'all. Finish up that table. Make me a table. This should be something that's doable, especially after all that stuff we did. This is probably the easiest one on here, isn't it? Okay, that's it. That's what I got. If you got questions, I'm here. Again, I would double check your grade. And my kind of suggestion is like if you're scoring already below 60, I think, I would probably consider dropping the class.
Bye. Have a good day.
All right, take care. I need to stop sharing. Did I stop
Could
sharing?
I see? I'm sorry. Could I see the table again just one more time so I can take a picture and finish it? Sorry about that.
Go back. I think I got to restart it. Shoot. That table's in the book.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's no big deal. I'll just find it. Thank you.
Yeah.